St. Paul's Presbyterian Church here is home to the infamous gremlins in the bell tower. Now you can't call them ghosts because wartime era it was taboo to talk about ghosts, but you can simply call their mischievous activity gremlins. Hi, I'm Spooky Steph and I'm the founder and owner of Haunted Hamilton. I'm born and raised Hamiltonian, and I've always been in love with the city, but it took me to leave the city for 1 year to go to school in Toronto, and that's when I truly did fall in love with the city. You don't realize you miss Hamilton until you leave it for a little bit. I came back to Hamilton and I saturated myself with the history, and of course there was a few local ghost stories, which is intriguing enough, and that's where I started. Haunted Hamilton was first inspired only when I was 19 years old by a local mansion that unfortunately doesn't stand anymore called Bellevue. I learned about it, I tried to save it, and that's what inspired Haunted Hamilton because I have the only remaining pictures of the interior of Bellevue to this day, and that's what I created the website for, was to share it with the public. Little did I know it would become this big. When researching a story for Haunted Hamilton, first and foremost, you have to know that your research is accurate, your history is accurate. So where I find myself often, more often than leading tours, is actually at the 3rd floor at the Special Collections Department over in the archives. And that's where all the juicy stories are locked away, and it just takes somebody to go sit there and do the research, and that's where I'm finding all of my cool stories. And then I translate them into my tour, and I like to share them with everybody here in Hamilton. My favorite part about conducting tours is almost twofold. One, it's sharing the story with my guests, stuff that they didn't know about or they maybe heard about, and now they get to know the full story and they all leave, wow, I learned a lot here about my own city. Tourists learn a lot about the city that they didn't know about. And then third, the next generation, where I want to be that bridge for the next generation of young kids who don't even know about the local history, because a lot of us now are so wrapped up in technology. I want more of us to be wrapped up in the gorgeous architecture and looking up at the beautiful, amazing details in these buildings as opposed to always looking down on our cell phones. I think the next generation should have a lot to learn from our local history, and I want to be the one to help share it with them in a new way. History is unique in itself, but I figure what better way to share the love of history than through a good ghost story. And then when you can accurately back that up with some research and historical evidence, what a better ghost story that becomes.